This is the AMC 1-month overview reading for September 2022. It's currently August 17th, 2022, 9:39 p.m. That's Eastern Time. The overall theme and behavior, we have the Strife card. The Strife card, after rallying to meet a critical resistance on at least a 1-month chart, could be on a year-to-date chart. After rallying to meet critical resistance, we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Those spikes up usually meet moving averages as resistance, and the moving averages are usually in bearish formation. This is crossed with, usually the crossing card is like an event, an important event or happening, and what we have here is erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. In the midst of that erratic behavior, there is the revisiting of a crest that was recently a past opportunity. The behavior out of the high, we're going to have a notable decline on a year-to-date chart. It'll stand out, a notable decline, at least on a 1-month chart, but on a year-to-date chart, the decline out of the high won't really stand out. And then the same thing goes for the move out of the low. It's a fast, sudden move higher that will stand out at least on a 1-month chart. Okay, so we start off the month on the 1st with a rally. It's the beginning of a rally. There is a bit of decline with spikes, with consecutively lower spikes up in here, but then the overall behavior for the day is going to be a move to the upside. Actually, we may visit the resistance that we break down from here for the first time, and then there's a swing trade opportunity. So on a 1-day chart, there's a good trade opportunity in here in the midst of a rally to open up a short position. Looks like the following day we have a notable decline, like an unexpected notable decline on at least a 1-month chart. There's one local high and one local low. So what I mean by local high and local low is when you're looking at a 1-day chart of the second, you're going to see one prominent high and one prominent low. The prominent high, there'll be a failed attempt to break through key resistance on a 1-day chart, and then that'll be followed by a breakdown through key support on a 1-day chart. The move out of the low is going to be a notable move to the upside, and that'll stand out on a 1-day chart as well. The swing trade opportunity looks like to close a swing trade that was opened on the 1st. The swing trade opportunity involves a move higher in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. On the 5th, we actually have a closed market. So likely what we do is we meet critical resistance here, and we attempt to establish critical resistance either on the 2nd or on the 6th. On the 6th, it looks like there's a bit of a rally there, but there's a halting of that rally marked by a breakdown through a critical resistance level, or excuse me, a critical support level, and that'd be on at least a 1-month chart. There's one local high on this 1-day chart for the 6th, and that involves sideways fluctuations with a bullish trend that precedes a decline. On the 7th, it looks like what we have here is we have a month's crest correlation. This is very likely the month's high here for AMC. It's either the 7th or the 8th is my sense. And what we do, we break down from this month's high to and through a support level to meet another support level, and then we rotate sideways along that support level on the 7th. There may be a speech that comes out here, but something dishonest is at play early on the 8th. It looks like either on the 7th and the 8th, it seems. But we hit a resistance level, and we should turn around after bumping up against resistance and moving sideways along resistance for a bit. On the 8th, we should see that resistance level again that we bump up again and break down from. And that'll take place there. There's a swing trade opportunity on the 8th as well. So one really good opportunity on the 8th in the midst of a rally to open up a short position. On the 9th, we have quite a bit of volatility. There's 2 local highs on the 1-day chart for the 9th and one local low, and one swing trade opportunity. So we're going to want to position ourselves in both, it looks like for both directions, to trade both directions, and by that I mean with like a straddle or a strangle. This is also the day that we go retrograde. So I won't be trading after the 9th, but this would be a place to position oneself for both directions, to play both directions, using straddles or strangles or covering long position with puts. We have the local highs. There's a failed attempted breakthrough key resistance on a one-day chart, followed by a decline through key support on a one-day chart. And then the other local high involves, there's a brief high, it's a brief opportunity, and it's gone. There's a decline that follows this brief high, very brief opportunity. Looks like it involves move higher in the midst of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. In the local low for the day on the 9th, there's a prominent move higher out of that local low. It'll stand out on a one-day chart. On the 12th, we may have another high here on the 12th, like a revisiting of a high here. It's possible. And if so, that would likely be the opportunity to get out of the long side of the position that we opened on the 9th. There's a U-shaped dip there on the 12th, likely close to perpendicular diagonal trend lines. One local high on the 12th, one local low on the 12th, and a significant trade opportunity. On a one-day chart, there'll be a notable rally, and in the midst of that rally, there's an opportunity to open up a short position. The one local high, it involves a sideways fluctuation with bullish trend that precedes a decline, and then the one local low, there's a decline to and through a support level, and then we revisit that support level and reuse it as support. So it's kind of like a J shape. We turn around and reuse it as support. On the 13th, we have sideways fluctuations along a support level, a key support level on a 1-month chart. On the 14th, there is a failed attempt to break through a key resistance that we expected to break through. This may be the same resistance that we saw we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity on the 4th, where we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance, and everybody's expecting us to break out. Instead, we fail to break out and we decline through key support, and that's likely on a multi-day chart. On the 15th, we have sideways rotation along support. We rise to meet the nearest resistance, and then we fall back down to that same support and rotate sideways along it some more. On the 16th, early in the morning or overnight on the 15th to the 16th, there's a notable move, a price move, a big price move. We have a month's trough here. This could be one of the months, this could be a month's low. It's a significant trough. And we should see likely the bottom of a range here on the 16th. On the 19th, we revisit a crest again in the midst of some erratic behavior. It was recently a past opportunity. There's a big move to the upside. We push the upper end of a range higher, but I'm advised to be careful. There's a failure soon, and it looks like the following day, either overnight or we gap down, or there's a decline early in the morning on the 20th. But we have a move out of a decline on the 20th from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of a range, and that'll stand out on a one-day chart. This could also be another prominent trough for the month of for AMC. And then we have a rally, so that rally continues out of that decline on the 20th. The rally on the 20th out of that decline continues into the 21st. A lot going on the 21st, but there's an opportunity in the midst of that rally to open up a short position. One local high on the 21st involving a sideways fluctuations with a bullish trend that precedes a decline. 3 local lows on the 21st. 3 local lows, my friends. So 3 local lows. Those would be the troughs in the midst probably of that sideways fluctuation with the bullish trend. One of those local lows involves a decline to and through support level, and then we turn around and reuse that support level as support. Another of those local lows involves a notable move to the upside out of the low. It'll stand out on a one-day chart. And then another one of those local lows, I'm advised to be cautious. There may be like multiple false lows, multiple false... I gotta get my dog. Hermes, no barking. Let's go. Stay outside. I told you. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so there's an unpleasant surprise, it looks like, overnight on the 22nd. The rally may actually even continue into the 22nd. If it does, there's a definitive cash out opportunity early on the 22nd, but that's only if it looks like it's continuing into the 22nd. Because there's a chance it could end there on the 21st as well. It's somewhere around there. Unpleasant surprise overnight or early in the morning on the 22nd, and we break down through multiple key support levels on at least a one-day chart here, but it could be likely on a one-month chart here. On the 23rd, we revisit a support level in the midst of a period of sideways rotation along support. There's a sudden dip. And we revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. There's a notable move lower here, guys. There's like a big move. Big move to the downside here on the 22nd or the 23rd, or maybe both of them. Possibly overnight, actually, over the weekend on the 23rd. Looks like the decline ends on the 26th at a month's low, most likely on the 26th or likely on the 26th. Out of the decline on the 26th, there's a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of that decline. One local high on the 26th, so on a one-day chart, one local high that'll stand out. It'll be a brief high and a brief opportunity, and we'll visit that high in the midst of a rally higher, in the midst of notable headwinds that we would expect it to move lower. It still moves higher into the high. It doesn't stay there long, my friends. The following day, it looks like we break down from a high. I'm advised to buy protection early in the morning in the midst of multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the 27th. On the 28th, again, one local high. There's a brief high that marks an opportunity before we fall pretty hard. There's there's bearish price swings with a notable drop in there on the 28th. On the 29th, we have a big move to the upside. On a one-month chart, it'll stand out. It'll come from oversold territory or from to fill a previous gap down. There's one local high as well on the 29th. It's a key resistance level on a one-day chart. And there's two trade opportunities there. Could be the closing of a swing trade, the opening of a swing trade, or possibly a day trade. One of those trades involves that key support level, or that key resistance level. The other one involves a period of volatility with a sudden dip that stands out in the midst of that period of volatility. That's on a one-day chart. And then on the 30th, we have a notable fake out, shake out. It's intentional. It's designed to make us act impulsively. This may be another low. They may make it look like we're going lower, and we may actually go lower. But there's a fake out here. The reason why I say that we may actually go lower is because we've got the Ace of Swords as the sneak preview card for October. Ace of Swords, generally speaking, that's new resistance. It's kind of like the opposite of the Ace of Discs, new support. All right, guys, that's AMC for September 2022. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget, guys, that law of karma. When you make that money, take 10%, set it aside. Half of that you want to put forward. You want to pay forward. Somebody who doesn't expect it, that needs it, help them out. The other half of that, you want to pay it backwards to Approveb. It's in the description. Approveb at Cash App to help support my team and all the free work we do. And then the remaining 90%, do what you got to do with that. Just make sure you do it out of love. The universe is going to set it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.